Here we go.
You're tuning in to Will Love Listen. Now listen.
Well, I'm very excited to interview Heather Gay from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and New York Times best-selling author. And she's got the new book out. And to honor her, I'm popping a bottle of champagne.
Yes, this is my kind of interview. I
It
love
was the
it.
pricey champagne that I got at a wine tasting. So hopefully I don't embarrass myself
Oh,
because,
let's pop bottles, baby.
yeah, right? Um, so
Yes,
congratulations, Heather.
thank you so much. That's adorable.
We are
I
about to,
wish I had. I'm going to drink my Gatorade
I thought you would have,
Zero in solidarity with you.
I thought you would have an espresso martini.
It's only noon here. I would
Oh,
like
okay.
to if I knew how to make them myself. I'd be all over that.
Well, virtual cheers and congratulations on the new book.
Here we go. Cheers. Thank you so much. This is so fun.
So there's so much I want to talk to you about. And
Okay.
for my voice, I'm just getting over pneumonia and it's like raspy and not hot. So
No, Will, it's hot. It's just party boy voice. Just say I have party boy voice. I can't. Sorry. It's just
okay. Or good time boy voice, like good time girl.
good time boy or good
Voice.
time girl voice. It's a good time girl voice.
This is my first drink in like fucking weeks. So I'm glad
Oh
it's
my gosh. Enjoy it. Pound it. Let's
I
go.
know.
Let's get going.
So, but obviously I want to talk about Housewives tea. I want to talk about everything. But I really want to go back to your upbringing because when they had announced Real Housewives of Salt Lake City originally, there was all this talk about because Utah and Salt Lake City is big with the Mormons. So I feel like your story was so integral to the start of the show. And now you had the book, now you have your new book, and I really want to know what was life like growing up Mormon? And as you got older, how challenging was it? Because you obviously were conflicted with wanting to be loyal to the church and your religion versus what you felt personally and who you were.
Yeah. Well, growing up Mormon, it's like someone described it as like, how does a fish even know when it's swimming in water? I didn't know that the way I grew up was any different than any other kid in America. I just thought that what the way we lived was the best way to live, and that everybody, if they knew about it, would live exactly like me. And I just had this insulated worldview. And then I also saw everything through that Mormon lens. So things that a lot of kids would have thought wasn't that big of a deal about growing up, like drinking or smoking or just, dating. Those were to me these colossal, like edge of the cliff, dark things that I shouldn't experience, touch, or even know about. So any desire to do that made me feel, a lot of shame and a lot of guilt, and like saw myself through a lens of like bad and wicked. And now as an adult, when like all of my dreams have come true, I'm living my best life that I could have ever imagined. I realize like not only are those things not wicked, they might be like my desire to like try and experience and, eat, pray, love my way through life might be exactly what makes me who I am. So it's kind of feels refreshing to embrace it. And this book was kind of a way for me to celebrate all of those good time girl moments and talk about them with kind of a on the other side refreshed perspective.
Now, did it take the show to get you to come out of your shell completely? Because, you had your own business and you were married, but I feel like the show really gave you that platform to just be like, you know what, I'm going to let it all hang out.
The show forced it. The show was the only reason that I came out publicly. It's the only reason that I lived my life openly. It was the only thing that forced me to be authentic. I knew that like you can't really hide anything from the cameras, and there was no way to lead this double life of a good Mormon and also be a housewife. So if it weren't for the show, I never would have been able to have the financial independence, have the opportunities, have the access, and then just have the strength and the community to kind of support and embrace me while I went through it. I've been leaving the church every year more and more that I've been on the show. And it's really the fans and the bad Mormons out there, and the people that read the first book and that wanted a second book that really have motivated me, to put it all out there.
Where do you stand with the church today?
I think they're mad at me, Will. I think they're really mad at me. I'm just kidding. No. I'm no longer in a trademark lawsuit with them. I dropped my trademark case. I was never going to win. They were lawyering me to death.
Really? Oh,
And yeah, so I can't sell merch that says bad Mormon anymore. And I can't sell a mug that says bad Mormon because they own the word Mormon. And I can't use that. But they can't, I can still sell my book. And so Good Time Girl, I'm not in danger of infringing on the church. But yeah, I live in this community. My customers are Mormon, my family is Mormon, my friends from high school are all Mormon and their children are Mormon, and my kids' friends are Mormon. So it's a hard question to answer, really honestly. I think that I'm, still persona non grata, but I'm trying to like be as peaceful about that as possible.
no, I get that. But I mean, today, do you consider yourself still to be Mormon, even if
No, I
you
mean,
don't?
I
Okay.
just can never strip it from you. It's like if you grew up in New Jersey your whole life, but then the last 5 years you've been living in Hawaii,
Yeah,
you feel
exactly.
a little Hawaiian, but you're still Jersey, like I still can't strip it from me. It's why I called Bad Mormon Bad Mormon. That's why it's in the title, because I still very much see a lot of my life through that framework because it's how I lived for 40 years. So it's all I ever knew. And this is a very new, fresh second chapter that I never thought I'd get to experience.
Now, what differentiates this new book from the first book?
Juicy, juicy tidbits and behind the scenes action from like Bad Mormon. I is just beginning to be a housewife. Like I was just beginning to leave the church. I didn't have like a lot of one night stands to talk about. I didn't have a Bermuda behind the scenes to talk about. I didn't, this book has allowed me to like talk more about things that I was experiencing when Bad Mormon came out. And now a few years later, there's a lot more to unpack, my relationships with the cast, um, a lot of what happened with the black eye, and then certainly the behind the scenes of Bermuda. And I got to write funny stories that I didn't get to cover in Bad Mormon about growing up and when the wild child in me got out and got to breathe the fresh country air.
I like that because I feel like Bad Mormon, we really got to learn about your backstory and basically life from childhood up until you got on the show. And now we're going to be learning about your life show onward. So,
Yeah, like what it's like on the other side.
and I think it's good also because you faced a lot of criticism recently, because particularly for a couple of things, such as not going as hard on Jen Shah, despite the horrible things that she's done. And also because of withholding the black eye, people say that, you got shit because you put people's jobs in jeopardy because you were kind of protecting Jen inadvertently. So we're gonna find
Mm-hmm.
out why. And we're gonna find out your
Well, yeah.
emotions behind it now.
Yeah, you'll get to kind of be on that process with me and why I messed it all up so badly and why I can see it more clearly now. It
Did
was a really vulnerable thing to write about. I was scared to bring it all up again, but I felt like I owed it to myself and to that story because I was still figuring it out. I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing. I was just like in it. I didn't understand it. And now I have a little more perspective. And so it felt really good to write about it.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. And it's also good for fans to know because you got a lot of shit because people were like, why is she still protecting Jen? That was the biggest one. Why is she still protecting Jen? What does Jen have on her? Blah blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 blah. So, and I was surprised. I'm like, Heather should just talk about it now, but I guess you were saving it for the book, which makes
Well, I
sense.
didn't feel I didn't really have the way to talk about it then. I didn't even understand how to talk about it. I was just still in it, and so and I that's what I kind of talk about in this book. It's like I needed some perspective in order to really analyze it and therapy. Needed perspective and therapy, well, and it really helped me figure it out.
No, I've been there, trust me. I feel like good people tend to as they say, protect their abusers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've been in like friendships where like I have hold all the shit in the vault, but yet I'm still protecting people that are treating me like shit. And I feel you because it took me going to therapy and it's like, why are you doing things that are to your own detriment? And it kind of all
Yeah.
stems back to childhood. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. To our coping mechanisms we learn as kids, and to behaviors that we don't even realize are that we're doing, just self-destructive behaviors that we use for coping mechanisms, and I kind of had a landslide of self-destructive behaviors that I write about in the book, like I was figuring out dating as a divorcee, and sex, and as someone that had lived with purity culture her whole life, and I've gotten a lot of criticism for Ozempic, so I wanted to write about that. I felt like there's so many things that I was experiencing, and while you're experiencing them, you don't really have the words to write about them. And now, with some time and distance, I can.
Oh, that's great. So you're basically addressing all the shit Housewives onward this time around. All of it.
Yes, yes,
I feel like that.
yes. I want the reader to be like in on the action, to feel like they're really in it, and experiencing it with us.
Did it feel very cathartic, almost like a cleanse writing this book?
Fully. I'm so excited for people to read it. It felt like the second phase of like this new chapter in my life. And like I wanted to write about it and share it with people. It felt so cathartic, so cleansing.
I know you could only be, you can't go into details, but if you could give topics, what were the three topics that you were most happy to address in this new book?
Um, Bermuda and the behind the scenes of reality Von Tease. All the receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots of that. Like I said it, but I didn't get to really lay it all out. So in this book, I get to. I wanted to address just kind of the concept of shame and authenticity, and how shame directs a lot of shame is just something that's kind of arbitrary that we inherit from our parents and from our religions and from our community, and like how it can really change the way we look at ourselves and the choices we make. And I wanted to look at that when I was as young as 8 years old to when, last year in Bermuda, so I just wanted to kind of get that theme of when you doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80, but when you choose to kind of live authentically, it's a lot of unpacking, but it's a lot of self-discovery. And there's also a lot of laughs. I laugh at myself. It's kind of my way of processing things is through humor. And so I think Good Time Girl is a really funny book. And I think that it's funny while also being, having a lot of nuggets for Housewives fans and alike.
I like that. Oh, but you gave two. What's the third?
Oh, um, the third would be probably I want people to see how much I love like the girls of Salt Lake City. The Angie Katzenavas chapter, is really fun to kind of see what it's like with Housewives or the cameras are down. And also I wanted to address the black eye. I wanted to address Ozempic, black eye, Bermuda.
Okay, so a lot we get. Okay, that's good. That is good. I want to touch upon each subject as much as possible. So, Ozempic. Um, I recently interviewed from New Jersey Housewives Jackie Goldschneider, and that was one of the topics that came up. She feels as though because all the housewives are on it now, that it's such a bad message, but more importantly, that it's basically enables an eating disorder. Do you agree with that? That like all these housewives and women in general, and some men too, taking Ozempic, that it sort of enables an eating disorder and could be
I
self-destructive.
don't I read Jackie's book, and I think Jackie has a much better perspective on all of that than I do, because it's something that she's written and talked openly about. So I don't know how to diagnose that, but I could say specifically that I see weight loss medication and GLP-1 medications like Ozempic as the same thing as like saying like antidepressants to a depressed person, just be happy without them, and if they help me be happy so much better, why would you begrudge me taking them? So it's like I don't think antidepressants create depression any more than I think that weight loss medication creates, helps people lose weight. It's just kind of when you've struggled with it your entire life and then it works, you can't say anything other than like, it helped me and it worked for me and my doctor recommended it. And that's kind of where I like to leave it.
Good answer. Good answer. And you guys both have great books, by the way, and the same publisher, interestingly enough.
Yes, yes. And the same publicist. for.
Those same publicists. Yeah, right.
And I love Jackie's book, and I just think she's a great writer, and I really loved it. So it was a tough thing when I just read that, and then I went on the medication, and then I heard her saying that. So yeah, it's just everybody has a unique perspective on it.
Now, switching from Ozempic to the black eye. I know a lot of the information is going to be in the book, but as much as you can, why did you withhold it? And were you given shit behind the scenes because it could have affected jobs in production?
No, that was kind of a subtext. It was really I just didn't I was scared and I didn't know what to do. And like I obviously regret that. And like I love production. I love the crew. I've been working with these people. They are my extended family and they're extremely wonderful and professional. And like my bad jokes were not malicious intent. You know, I wasn't trying to have a red herring out there. It
Yeah,
was a really
you weren't
complicated
trying to get
situation.
anyone fired.
Of course not. No, if anyone should get fired, I felt like it was me because I woke up with a black eye and messed up everything. So I just, it's a really charged thing, but I mostly just talk about not as much how it happened, but how I processed it and why I think I made the choices I did. Cause I didn't really understand when I was doing it.
Okay.
You know, it's still a great mystery out there. It's still a big mystery, but
I
at
know.
least we understand why I behaved the way I did a little bit better.
It's a mystery that's going to be revealed, or at least somewhat. It'll answer everyone's questions. And I guess on that subject, because it relates, the Jen Shah of it all, she treated you like absolute shit. But yet you were still extremely loyal to her, right down to her going to jail. One, do you regret that at all? And two, just because I posted and people sent in their questions,
Yeah.
is there any blackmail that she has on you, which is why you sort of protected her so long?
No, first of all, I think we all know that any blackmail Jen would have had, Lisa would have used on me season one, two, three, or four. So
Yes, good. Yeah. Yeah, that's
this
true. Yeah.
this is not a game of blackmail. I loved Jen Shah, and I can say it. She was funny and charismatic and enigmatic and charming and hilarious as much as she was, you know, scheming and criminal and terrible. And so it's a mixed bag. But I also was a member of a church that treated me poorly that I defended for decades blindly. And so I really make the comparison about how my behavior is just it's it was surprising to me, and now to look back at it with therapy and perspective, I can forgive myself a little bit and understand, um and forgive Jen a little bit too. We're kind of all in it together, and like she's in prison, she's doing her time, and we don't have a relationship anymore, and I think that's a good thing,
Yeah.
a safe good thing, for me to now have boundaries. But I don't regret it. I don't regret anything that's gotten me to this moment, because I'm living a life I never dreamed I could live. I got to write two books. I get to travel and dress up and be on TV. And like, I don't regret the bad choices or the good choices that got me here, because it's paved the way for, who I am today. And I love this good time girl. I can say
Yeah.
that. And I'm still fucking up every day. Trust me. This is not like I've arrived. This is just one stop on a long journey.
But that's what makes you endearing and relatable, though. The fact that you could so easily be like, hey, this is why I fucked up. Here's, being an open book, that's what is relatable to normal people. That's what makes America relate to you.
Well, stay tuned, because I might fuck up in the next few episodes. And there's always reunion too. You don't know what's coming.
So,
There could be another gate coming. We have no idea.
is there a date set for reunion?
We're filming December 5th. So 2 days after the book launch. I'll
Wow.
be in New York. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So right around
So
the time.
that's going to be exciting. Yeah. Right in the mix of all of it.
Yeah. So I guess who are you looking forward to addressing most at the reunion? Who do you feel has the most to answer to?
When you see the next few episodes and the finale, you'll realize that, we all have things to answer with each other. I don't have a specific person in my crosshairs, but we have things to talk about. We all do. We left in a, there's a lot to come. I'm good with everybody right now, but there's a lot to come.
Okay. You're good with everybody. So there's not someone that you're closest to or least closest to.
Well, yeah, there's certainly tiers, but my OGs are always going to be my OGs, but I'm getting to know Bronwyn, and obviously I have nothing but love for Angie. So it's just kind of, but our relationships, the dynamics shift on a dime. So it's hard to say, where we'll be at in a few weeks because it changes every day.
Wow, I'm excited. So, I mean, this isn't going to drop until early December, so right after the book launches. So, we're filming almost a month prior to that.
Okay.
So, you could talk about the episodes that are coming up. What's been your biggest shocker so far this season, watching back?
Oh, watching back is how good the husbands look playing volleyball. I don't know if there's a filter or that's been my biggest shocker is they look pretty good. Another reason I'm mad I wasn't on that trip. Biggest shocker was not getting invited on the trip. That cut deep. And I think the biggest shocker is going to be what goes down in Puerto Vallarta. I don't
Mm.
know if I'm allowed to say, Becca, can I say Puerto Vallarta? Our cast trip and our finale dinner, it rivals Bermuda. Is that
Oh, it
fine? Okay.
does rival Bermuda. I feel like that was
Yeah.
impossible to rival, so it does.
So did we. So did we, but we'll see. It's an amazing, we have a lot of layers to us as women and friends. So stay tuned.
So does that have to do with the bomb? Because there was a brief clip about someone recording someone else. So is that in
Yeah,
relation?
I'll tell you, there is drama, there is fighting, there is espionage, there is possible counterfuge. It it's a true crime scenario comes up. So there's some nuggets to be dropped.
Now, speaking of finales, in this book, you
Okay.
address Bermuda of it all. Um,
Yes.
what are you most happy that people will finally get to know about that dinner? Because a lot of people, including myself, honestly, didn't understand why everyone was so mad because I only because I viewed that page in real time. I would view that page in real time, and all I remember was it exposed how shitty Jen was. Like it exposed like her treating her employees like shit and her. So I felt like, well, I mean, she's a horrible person, so all it did was expose her further. I didn't really understand why you guys were so mad. So could you tell us all finally why you were mad? What else was there to it? Because I feel like there has to be something else, right?
Well, yeah. Did you feel like that question was answered when you read the chapter? Why we were so mad?
I do, but I also don't want to know what I could say or
Right,
not.
right,
I want it
right,
to
right.
come
Okay,
from
I'll
you.
say it. So yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay, I
Yeah.
just wanted to get your perspective. So that's exactly why I wanted to write about the behind the scenes of it because it was about like the timeline was very important. And readers, when they read the chapter, will understand why this timeline made the fact that she was sitting at a table with us, laughing and crying and sharing. We were celebrating her birthday. We were buying her gifts. We were inviting her into, to have sleepovers. I mean, when you realize how long she'd been plotting and scheming and kind of working against us, it was a shock that she felt comfortable sitting next to us and breaking bread and then going home and tweeting about it. I mean, it was just a level of deception that we felt like just personally violated because it had been ongoing for so many years. And so we take the reader in that chapter back to the beginning of when way before Reality Von Tease even started that Monica had us in her sights. And so it's really, I hope that they see the true crime plotting of it all and just get sucked into why it was such a big deal that we had been fooled and deceived.
And it does answer that. Yeah, because I
Okay,
don't know what
good.
I can and can't say. That's why I'm like, I wanted to come from you because I'll say too much and then they'll be mad at me. But
I just didn't want you to feel let down. As long as I know you felt like it answered it, then I felt like I could speak on it.
yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to blow up her spot on the book. So but no, I wanted it to come from you because like a lot of viewers and me at the time, like I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm so confused. Jen fucked them all over, and all this chick did was expose her. So shouldn't they be happy? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so there's stuff unrelated to that, which people will get to learn about in this book.
Yeah. That made it impossible for us to have a friendship moving forward. Impossible. I mean, it wasn't like something that you forgive and forget. It was like we didn't even know who was seated next to us, and it was just like there was no way forward.
Do you think, obviously, like she may have felt a certain type of way before she started filming, but once you start filming, you start, kind of becoming emotionally attached to the people you work with. You start building an actual relationship. So do you think there's a chance in hindsight she was like, oh, maybe they're not how I initially perceived them to be, and I genuinely like them now. And then all this
No,
comes
no.
out and it blows up her spot because it's like, oh shit, yeah, maybe I felt a certain type of way then, but now I kind of like them. So you don't think
I
that?
don't think she ever liked us. No. And I think that it's evident by the way that she continued to speak of, I mean, she tried to sue Angie in the middle of the show airing, or filming. Like she had one goal and it was not friendship.
I actually thought her and Angie were going to be besties just because they were like you. They were both fucked over by Jen, but they were done with her by that point. They were more fed up with her. So I thought when that season started, they were going to be like homegirls. I was surprised to see how like they feuded, which I don't think was smart, on either of them's part, but more so for Monica because like it would have been good to have that ally. But I
Well,
was
yeah, she feuded with everybody and she just really had no loyalties to anyone. And that was clear when you see where she started from, of course she didn't. It was all kind of a scheme.
now if she were to come back in the mix, how would you either take that or handle her?
I mean, it would just be, I have boundaries now that I did not have when I, was blindly defending or accepting Jen in my life as a friend, in air quotes. But this is a show about friendship, and it would just be a farce, because I can have conflict with people, but I can also, be absolutely deceived, and she did steal from my company. There's a lot of other layers that make it be that it would be impossible for me to have a friendship with her
I
moving
do.
forward. And so I don't know how I would fake that.
It would probably be like a Shannon Bedore Alexis type of situation. You're in the same group, but you're one's on this side, one's on that side type of situation. But you did bring up your business. Now I want to talk about your business because I'm into like Botox and cosmetic
Good for
treatments.
you.
Tomorrow I'm getting Opus Plasma. Um,
Ooh, good.
yeah.
That's good.
So I already had my first treatment like a month ago. Tomorrow's my second one. So I want to talk about all cosmetic shit with you, but prior to we get into that in your business, that lawsuit between you guys, what's the real, there's a lot of he said, she said, or rather like she said, she said. So what's the real deal with that?
Yeah, well, the real deal is take the show away from it. Take the fact that she was ever on Housewives or ever, famous. She was a customer that stole thousands of dollars of money from our business. And we pursue people that steal from us. And she would have, all we asked was for her to settle her bill. And she refused and took it further legally. And so when the court saw the evidence of how she had not paid and had no evidence to back up why she hadn't, they gave us a summary judgment, which meant definitively that she not only owes us all the money that she stole, but also the attorney fees for us trying to get it back. And
What
that's
did
just what we do in
she
our business. That's just good business.
did she get treatments by you and just she did not pay? Is that what it was?
We have a payment plan for customers that don't have cash up front for thousands of dollars. If you want to get lips and Botox and cheeks and a hydrofacial, you can get up to $3,000 worth of services and make payments with just an initial sign up fee. But you can't give us false information and then walk away and refuse to pay. And that's what a lot of these kind of con artists do. They go into small businesses and they think they're never going to pursue me. It won't be worth the attorney fees to pursue me, but we have the resources, and it was definitely worth it to us to set a precedent that if to our paying customers, you don't get to just come get all the services and never pay. That's, I have a business partner, I have employees, I have customers that come and pay even when it's difficult for them. And so to let's Monica get away with it just because she was on a TV show with me, there was no way. I had to set the precedent.
I see. So basically it came down to false information, and then she never paid.
She's never paid. And the court saw that and gave us a summary judgment. So there's really nothing she can do. She owes us at an 18% interest until it's fully paid. She can file appeals, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still accruing and the judgment is final.
Okay. Now your business, I do want to talk about that. I also want to talk about what you offer. You should open up a location in New Jersey, because I'm always getting shit. Like I love my fucking Botox. I love all the microneedling, skin tightening treatments.
Your skin is beautiful. I mean, it's glowing. It looks so good.
Thank you. I don't even have
beautiful skin.
Thank you.
I mean, you're glowing. Glazed donut skin, gorgeous. We offer everything at Beauty Lab.
You do? Okay, so because you have multiple locations, right?
2 locations, one in Riverton and Murray, and just areas of Salt Lake. And we have 7 injectors. We have 30 employees. We have estheticians. We have injections techs. We have full skincare lines. So yeah, it's like it's like my greatest accomplishment. That in my books.
How did the business get started? Because it got started before the show.
Yeah, it got started. I got on the show because of the business, I think.
When did you establish the business, and how did it all come together? Because it's booming now.
Yeah, well, it was not booming when I started it. I was just doing Instagram posts in exchange for free Botox from a plastic surgeon. And then the more I started building up his Instagram and like doing photography, I kind of got involved in the business. And when I had a divorce settlement, he asked me if I wanted to be a partner. And I ended up just buying him out and then rebranding it as Beauty Lab and Laser, took away all of the plastic surgery and made it just a new business in 2017. So we've only been in business for 7 years. This is our 7th year. September 1st, we marked our 7th year. And yeah, thank you. And so it's just been a thrill to watch it take off. We say it's beauty by the people for the people, and we really are transparent about our pricing. We're transparent about our services. We have 15-minute Botox parking, and we try to just make it easy so people can come in, get the self-care they want, and then go on and live their lives.
Oh, I love that. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You need to open up a location in New Jersey. I'm sure it would
I would love to.
Really well.
It would be so fun. I love Jersey. I love the East Coast.
You do. Well, you're going to be on tour. You're going on a big book tour. You're going to be at all different bookstores throughout the country. I know you're going to be in Jersey. I'll probably see you that day. So
good. Yay.
We could get like a photo, video, and
absolutely. I'll put you on the list. That would be so. Yeah. Now I'll get to officially cheers you in person.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I know you got to run. I would love to talk all things cosmetic with you, but I know you got to run. But I'll see you at that New Jersey event. I look forward to it. And thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad we were able to speak.
No, this was great. Thank you, Will. I appreciate it.
Of course. You got to come back.
Okay, I'll see you soon. I know. And I'll see you in like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Almost.
I'll be there.
Right?
For
so
sure.
Fun. Okay. Thanks, Ben.
Cheers.
Bye, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Thank you.